I want to start with what I think is, and I'm just going to let it go, a shame, shame, shame. If you're a Game of Thrones viewer, you know the drill. Shame, shame, shame. Yesterday, in a record 3,600 people died because of coronavirus. A record 3,600. This is beginning to show you what all this travel during Thanksgiving did. We're starting to see Thanksgiving travel. The cases skyrocketed, and now the deaths are following. New reported cases, 245,000. Another record. And I have no tolerance. If there's trolls today, Corona truthers, I'm not even going to respond because I can't with that brain dead nonsense. So we are entering a very, very horrible, well, we're already there, but it's going to get worse. In the past week, just over 30% of the nation's coronavirus-related deaths were reported in the South and nearly 30% in the Midwest. 3 times as many people in the U.S. are dying each day now than 3 months ago. And the number of new cases is 6 times what it was then. So all of this health catastrophe mixed with 1.4 million Americans filed new unemployment claims last week, the highest level in weeks. Rising layoffs are an alarm bell that Congress needs to pass more stimulus. Over 20.6 million are on unemployment aid as we head into the holidays. And by the way, in all those 20.6 million, that would be maybe not 20.6, but pretty close, have no health care. Because in this corporation pretending to be a country, we live in the United Corporations of America, health care is tied to whether you have a job or not. So, again, 1.4 million new claims, and that number is going to skyrocket. That number is going to skyrocket. Okay? So, all of this, and the Democratic Party, of course, Trump, he's checked out. He's more focused on his election conspiracy cabal. So, the Democratic Party, Trump obviously has checked out. McConnell doesn't care. So we expect this for the Republican Party. The Democratic Party, who helped drive the getaway car for the original sandwich, the original CARES Act, where McConnell and Trump looted the Treasury and Pelosi drove the getaway car. $4 trillion they stole. The majority, overwhelming majority, went to corporate America, Wall Street, fossil f***ers, big pharma, big real estate, Silicon Valley, and donors. Now, they're telling you, while we have an unprecedented number of people dying, way more than even on 9/11 died the last few days. Over 3,000 people. We have almost 4,000 people yesterday died. When unemployment, 1.4 million more claims. We are being told by the Democratic Party the best we could do is $900 billion. Because the Democratic Party is conceding to the Republican Party's random unwillingness. The Republican Party totally fine with giving $1.5 trillion in tax cuts, which was a giant blowjob, excuse my French, to corporate America. Tax cuts for the wealthy, $1.5 trillion, no problem. But now the Republicans, for some reason, can't go over that $1 trillion line. So the Democrats are telling us, let's just take this now, $900 billion, $300 a week unemployment, which, by the way, if you received the $600 a week unemployment as part of the CARES Act, it wasn't automatic. I could show you the horror stories I read and people I spoke with, the amount of time it took them to get the $600 a week. It wasn't automatic. So we're being sold that $300 a week, which you're lucky if you'll get it by the time New Year's comes, even if it passed today. We're being sold that $300 a week, and a check of possibly $600 to $700, which, by the way, the only reason that would even be in there is because of Bernie Sanders and Republican Senator Josh Hawley, who have worked together trying to push stimulus checks. That's some victory that's going to help stave off the, just economic calamity for people. Is $300 a week, which, again, who the hell knows when you're going to get it? Because if coronavirus has shown us anything, our state unemployment systems are a disaster at it actually administering unemployment. If the United States wasn't acting like the United Corporations of America, we'd just be doing what Europe is doing, which is the government is covering the goddamn payrolls. They're not throwing people on some bureaucratic, disastrous system called unemployment. The government is covering the payrolls, so people are still employed. This is a disaster, this $900 billion. The only reason I even bothered to go along with the CARES Act in the first place was $600 a week plus the $1,200 check was something that could at least rescue people and for a while. And at that point, I mean, you had nearly 3,000 deaths a day. You had an unprecedented amount of cases. It was just starting. But I'm done with that. There's no more accepting sandwiches. And the delusion, I want to play you what Bernie said on this. I have two clips from Bernie. Let me play you the first one, because I love Bernie, but I disagree with him.
I also say this. What President-elect Biden has made clear is that in his judgment, this bill is a down payment, that one of the very first things that his administration will do when they take office is to move aggressively to expand upon what we are doing right here. And that, I would hope, means extended unemployment. I would hope it would mean more direct payments to working families in this country. It would mean state and substantial help for state and local government, among many other things.
Bernie, come on. I'm happy you're wearing that mask, Bernie. Keep that mask on. Bernie, I mean, I criticized Bernie during the campaign for being naive. Bernie, this ain't your first rodeo in the United Corporations of America. Do you actually think that if this $900 billion sandwich consisting of $300 a week for unemployed people, which, by the way, again, good luck if you could get that unemployment quickly. The horror stories of people taking weeks and weeks and months in some cases to even get that unemployment. A $600 check? What's that going to do? Buy you a few cartons of almond milk in New York City and Los Angeles? Pay for a car, your car that's messed up? Pay a quarter of your rent if you're in large cities? By the way, the PPP money, we're not even talking about the fact that the PPP small business program was one of the biggest scams in American history. A lot of that PPP program meant for small businesses like my parents who own a jewelry store, small business, mom and pop, went to donors, went to wealthy people. I covered it here. PPP small business money went to that host on Shark Tank, Kevin O'Leary, a multimillionaire. So we're declaring these things as a victory, but the key here is, Bernie and the Democrats that are saying this, if this goes through, $900 billion, that's it. If you are delusional enough to think, as of now, I believe, could be wrong, as of now, I believe the Republicans will win those two Georgia Senate seats. Maybe one of the Democrats will win and one of the Republicans will win, but Democrats need to win both of those seats to win. So, assuming that Republicans still have the control of the Senate, you think Republicans, after their argument will be, we gave you $2 trillion in March and April, then we gave you another $900 billion in December, And all of a sudden, they're going to care again about the debt, because we know when Republicans are in power, they don't give a god. They don't care about the debt. Tax cuts for everybody, war for everybody. They don't care about the debt. And then we're in the minority. All of a sudden, they care about the debt again. You know, rinse and repeat. This is what the Republican Party does. They're a bunch of substanceless, soulless, moralityless, and their ideology is power. They don't care about the debt or deficit unless they are in the minority and they could use it to stop aid for working people and vulnerable people. The Republicans under Joe Biden, you'd be lucky if you could get one vote in the Republican Senate for a stimulus authored by incoming President Joe Biden. You got March and April, and now they're going to say we just did this in December. The vaccine, they'll say, is going to be more widely distributed in a few months. We can't give you any more money. So this notion that Bernie's pushing and that Biden is pushing and that the corporate Democrats are pushing, that this right now is an emergency fund. It's a down payment. There will be more coming under Biden. You're naive if you think that's going to happen. Biden might try, but if you think the Republicans, after giving $900 billion, which is not enough, right now we need at least $4 to $5 trillion, maybe more. We need the PPP program to actually go to small businesses, not donors and wealthy people. Hope you enjoyed that last video. Hop on over to statuscoup.com where you can sign up for our email list and become a member for as low as $5 to $10 a month. Membership is how we grow. That's statuscoup.com/join. And remember, join our email list so we can grow the revolution with you.